Hello. Um, I am doing another spirituality video, and I know I said I wasn't going to do many, but this is one I really want to do, and it is about spirit guides and how to find them, and how I found mine, and what spirit guides I have, and things like that. So, first of all, I have two spirit guides, and something else that I'll talk about later on. My two spirit guides are, one is a totem animal and one is a spirit guide in terms of that it's human-shaped. And I say human-shaped and not human because, in my opinion, they are manifestations of this cosmic energy. They're to guide us, and, you know, they're less intimidating than the idols, such as the gods and goddesses, but they are, they're there to guide us and keep us on track, or be there for us in times of crisis. And yeah, so my spirit animal, my totem animal, whatever you want to call it, I encountered it through a guided meditation, well, semi-guided, like, I was instructed on what to do and then I did it. It wasn't like one of those where you actually listen to what's going on, but yeah, I went through it. I went through a meditation, and I encountered it, and it was a wolf. However, it can shift between a wolf and a dog and a fox depending on what it's needed for. I believe that's the case. It is... I want to say male, but I think it's gender neutral, to be honest, because of the way it acts, and in terms of like how I see the genders in terms of this energy, which is that it's the raw and powerful side is the masculine, and the caring, warm side is the feminine, and then there's like a logical sentientness, which is the middle, the gender neutral part. And the thing is, the wolf is kind of the raw, powerful. The dog is like the caring, nurturing, and the fox is the intelligent, kind of sentientness. And it kind of splits into those three quite well, which I find rather interesting. And yeah, that's how I got to meet my spirit animal. Is I went through a guided meditation. Basically, you clear your mind, you picture yourself in somewhere that you feel comfortable and safe, and for me that was a kind of forest, woody area, and basically there might be more than one animal that approaches you, and the idea is that you ask each one if it's a spirit guide, and some will respond in a negative way, which shows that it's not your spirit guide, and there will be one or maybe two or more that will respond positively and will interact with you in that way. And I mean, it's very much dependent on where you picture yourself, I guess. I mean, some people are more comfortable in in the ocean or the beach. Other people picture themselves on a kind of desert island. Or a tropical island. I was on, like I said, I was in a forest, kind of wood area. So, I mean, depending on your meditation, different animals will come up to you as well. For example, there were a lot of birds in mine, but I knew that they weren't anything to do with me, because I just felt it, but at the same time they could have been, and if I had asked, one of them might have responded, but I think they were more to do with my image, my visualization of the place I was in. But moving on to my spirit guide. My spirit guide, I didn't find, she came to me, and this one is a female, and I know it is because it takes the shape of a female. And in all honesty, I don't meditate to find her. I don't need to do anything like that. She just comes to me when I'm in need, and it's like a comforting presence more than a, I don't speak to her, I don't, we don't have a conversation. It's just when she's there, it's comforting. And she only comes in times of need or crisis, but she knows when I need her, essentially. And, it's comforting to have her around when I need her. And this third thing that I wanted to talk about, which is not quite a spirit guide, but more of a spirit presence. Several years ago, my grandmother, who was basically the biggest influence on my life as a youngster, she died, and since then, not so much all the time, but quite a lot of the time, I kind of know that she's with me in the fact that, like, despite the fact that I've moved several times, I've changed where I am, I've changed as a person, I've kind of evolved, and, it's surprising that she still is hanging around, but she is, and I know she is, and every so often I will think of her, and, I mean, sometimes I do speak to her a little bit, I don't often get a reply, but I do, I ask questions, and I get a feeling of, I get a feeling of what she would have said if I could hear her, kind of thing. And that's how I know that she's around. It's not so much that she does, become a figure and speaks to me, because that's just not the way it works, but she does, I can tell that she's there at times. Which makes me believe that there has to be some sort of afterlife. And I know that people will disagree with me on this, and some people will agree with me on this, but there has to be something. Because otherwise, how would we know? How would we get these feelings? How would we... there are people who remember past lives, they've been reincarnated or whatever. There are people who, have out-of-body experiences, and we wouldn't know these things unless it happened. So anyway, that's about my spirit guides and my grandmother. I hope that you enjoyed this video and that you will give me a thumbs up. Maybe comment about your spirit guides or spirits that you know are with you, or, if you haven't found one yet but you are planning to, and, if you need any advice, feel free to ask. I hope to see you in my next video.